Have you ever noticed how the biggest battles in life aren't fought in front of the crowds? They happen when nobody is watching. No applause, no recognition, no one keeping score. Just you and the decision you make. That's where discipline is born. That's where faith gets stronger. That's where character is shaped. And most people skip that part. But the truth is, the life everyone wants publicly is built privately. You know, when I'm working on the railroad, we spend a lot of nights away from home. Hotel rooms, quiet evenings. No schedule but the next call. And when I get to the hotel, nobody's watching what I do. Nobody cares if I go sit on the bed and scroll on my phone. Nobody cares if I skip the gym. Nobody cares if I eat junk food and say I'll start tomorrow. But that's exactly the moment where a decision is made. So most nights I walk into that little hotel gym. Nothing fancy, a few dumbbells, a treadmill, and some mirrors. No crowd, no stage, no applause. Just me and the choice. Sometimes I walk 4 miles before I even think about sitting down. Not because anyone told me to, but because discipline is a mindset. And God started showing me something while I was doing that. Faith works the same way. Most people want public victories without private obedience. They want the blessing without the building. But faith is built just like muscle. You don't grow during the applause. You grow during the repetition. That treadmill, that's consistency. Those weights, that's resistance. That quiet hotel gym, that's where integrity lives. Because real strength is what you do when nobody would ever know if you skipped it. Jesus actually talked about this, Matthew 6:6. When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Did you catch that? God sees the secret place. God honors the hidden work. And all through the Bible, you see the same pattern. Before David ever stood in front of Israel and killed Goliath, he was a shepherd boy nobody noticed. Out in the fields, no crowd, no spotlight, just sheep. But in the lonely field, he fought lions and bears. And when Goliath finally showed up, David was already trained. Joseph spent years in prison, forgotten, mistreated, invisible. But the Bible says he stayed faithful. And one day, God took a prisoner and turned him into the ruler of Egypt. The palace was built in the prison. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness. 40 years watching sheep, learning patience, learning humility, preparing for the moment when God would use him to lead a nation. Even Jesus showed us this same pattern before his ministry exploded with miracles and crowds. He spent 40 days alone in the wilderness, fasting, praying, preparing. The private place always comes before the public calling. Maybe that's where you are right now. You are in a season that feels quiet. Maybe it feels like a hotel gym season. Not glamorous, not exciting, just showing up. Working. Trying to stay disciplined. Trying to stay faithful. Trying to keep your mind right. Trying to keep your body right. Trying to keep your faith strong. Maybe nobody sees your effort, but God does. Those early mornings, those better food choices, those quiet prayers, those moments when you choose discipline over comfort. You are not just improving your body. You are building something deeper. You are building endurance, consistency, integrity, faith. And those things are what prepare you for the moment God has ahead. Because when the opportunity shows up, when the door opens, when the challenge appears, not because the crowd trained you, but because you trained when nobody was looking. So, if you are in a quiet season right now, don't despise it, embrace it, because the quiet grind is where God builds warriors. Stay disciplined, stay faithful, stay moving forward. And remember, the road might feel lonely sometimes, but God is always working behind the scenes. This is Cruising at God's Speed. If you are grinding in the unseen, if you are building in the quiet, subscribe and ride with me, because the road gets a whole lot better when we don't travel it alone.